It's not my first time in this part of the world, but it's my first time in Dawson Creek.
I asked probably 4 or 5 people today, what would you ask Chris Hadfield? And they thought about it for a few seconds, and they usually would ask something like, what does the Peace region look like from space? Do you get asked that a lot? And what does our region, our country look like from space? What do you think's behind that fascination?
When I was on board the space station, you go around the world 16 times a day, and so whenever I had a free moment, I would try and take a picture. And after a month or so, I sent out a note on Twitter saying, "What would you like me to take a picture of?" And it made me laugh, but the answer from all over the world was, "I want a picture of my hometown." Everybody, no matter where they lived, rural Pakistan or southern Australia or northern Canada, people want to see where they live. And at first I thought, well, that's just kind of nice. But then I realized people are proud of where they live, but they also want to see how it fits in. That to me was quite insightful, that people want to see themselves in context with the rest of the world. And they want to see it from a distance. And so I tried to do it as much as I could. And the seasons change and roads get built. And so it's something that you want to see the evolution of where you live also.
Yeah.
And so I took as many pictures of the whole world as I could, including northeastern BC.
And one little follow-up there, this is a part of the world we do a lot of resource development, oil and gas, forestry, we're building a dam. Can you see those things were you able to see those things from your vantage point? And did seeing the impacts we have on the physical environment impact
pretty
on you
much
in any way?
Any place in the world that people live has had resource development. Europe has had thousands of years of resource development, and the trees have been cut down and the rocks have been mined, and it's just people have now fairly dense population over top of all those areas. If you look at Ireland, it was the most heavily deforested place, I think, in the history of humanity, just because of the resource utilization. But now it's come to sort of a steady state. And some parts of the world are still in transition because the population is small or the resources have been recently discovered. And you can see those. But what you see from space is time. You see the healing nature of the world, and you see where people have lived for thousands and thousands of years and where people have lived for a short period of time, or a lot of people have just moved to. And I think it makes you worry less and be more optimistic. You realize this is a natural pattern. And in order to have a high standard of living around the world, we have to use the resources that exist. The key, of course, is to find ways to keep in balance with nature. And we've found that way most parts of the world. And it's just as true here. Use the natural resources that exist, the objective being raising the standard of living for as many people as possible, and find a way to keep that in balance. And astronauts come back very optimistic about all of that.